Greetings and welcome to Becoming a Published Author is Fun. If that doesn't make any sense to you, check out episode 8. This is episode 2537. It's a very, very special episode. I'm going to depart from my normal thing of where I'm teaching you to where I am showing you something. Now, get this over here. As you know, I am a publisher, teacher, coach, you name it, man of many hats. I have clients that I work with, and I'm telling you here today the story of one particular client. And what this gentleman came to me earlier this year, and he decided that he wanted to become a published author. So he became part of ministry publishing. And so what he did is he has a ministry where he sends out devotionals to different people he knows. And so what happened was he approached me on the idea of looking at publishing a book. And so we ended up deciding to go with a series book, actually 4 books, going to be all one package here. So it's going to be quarterly. And this first quarter is actually going to be the 4th quarter. And if you can see this, it's the 4th quarter. Simple thoughts from a simple man, a 4th quarter. And the reason we're starting that is because we wanted to get it out right away. And so he worked on it and we got it developed and everything. So I'm just going to take you through a little bit of the steps. Now, you may not be interested in using ministry publishing. That's fine. Watch the steps, because these are something, if you're going to do this on your own, you need to take them as well. So this could be you, whether you go with ministry publishing, some other publisher, or you decide to do it yourself. The first thing is you need to have your book idea. We'll just say book. It needs to be ready. You need to write it and get it ready. It doesn't have to be completed. He had, these were individual episodes, or not episodes, they were in devotionals, in which he would send me and we would build his book with those different ones. And in his case, he didn't date them. So it's a rather unique way of approach, and I like it. What it is, you can go in here in this book and pick out the title, by title or by a Bible verse, what you want to read that day. And so it's very flexible. It is 4th quarter, so it's got some Christmas stuff in there, devotionals. And obviously you're going to want to do them around Christmas time. But most of them, you can use it anytime you want to. And so that is, I think, a very good approach. I think it's going to work. Gives people the freedom. They don't have to wait until they get there. They can say, I want to look at that. And then just check them off as they do them, if they want to do that, or just leave them in place. And later on, they can always go back and do that again and again and again, how many times they want to read that particular one. But first of all, you need to have your book or manuscript. Number 2, you need to have a publisher. Now, if you're going traditional, you need an agent first, but you don't need an agent to get published. Not if you're going to be an independent author. And so I'm an indie publisher. So you need to have a publisher. That could be TNR Independent Books. That could be somebody else. But you need to have a book. You want to have it as ready as you can. Because then the 3rd step is you're going to have to do some editing. Formatting, we'll say first. Formatting, or just format. The 4th step will be editing. So what this client did, and I'm going to have to move this down a little bit so that you can see, because I got more to add here. There we go. So we have the book, the publisher, the format, the editing, and then number 5 would be the publishing. Now, let's go back and look at these. First of all, your book, okay? So you got that done. In his case, it was a book of devotional. It could be a novel. It could be any kind of book. In case you're dealing with me, it'd be a Christian book, Christian world, or Christian doctrine, or whatever, something about within the Christian faith. 2 would be a publisher. Now, if you're going in, I've done things on looking for a publisher before, so yeah, and I might bring that up again in a future podcast. But it can be taken, if you're going traditional, it can take months to find them, quite a bit less to find somebody who is a self-publisher, and probably even less than that to find an indie publisher. But one of the first things you want to do is like format, and that involves a lot of different things, including the size of the book, how many pages you want. You have some what you call front matter, and you have back matter, and these are what goes in the front and what goes in the back. A lot more goes in the front than the back, and you'll have things like your copyright page, your title page, your copyright page, dedication page, the contents, your table of contents page. It's different things. That sometimes I've actually done this. I've had a list of characters in a novel, characters in the front. So there's different things that formatting uses, and usually that would be the responsibility of the publisher. And the way I do it, it'd be the publisher working with you, the author. I would have to do the work. I would just run it by you and tell you and see what you want and didn't want and so forth, because that's my skill level, expertise, if you will. So you want to get it formatted. That can take time. If you decide to do this on your own, just know you got to do that. And I would recommend, if you've never done it before, first of all, you might want to start out by creating a template, breaking it up. You can look stuff up like that. And there's all sorts of ideas out there as to what works best. You can go on and Google it and find out. But generally speaking, you have your title page, then your copyright page, then you might have your dedication page, about the author page if you want to have one up front, different things like that, and table of contents. And then finally you get to your book itself, the body of it. And after that, the back matter, you might want to have another about. That's where I usually put the about page, or about the author. I've actually got 2 in this book, one up front, which he wrote, and it's quite a bit longer than the one I wrote. I have one that's on the very end of the book. And then there is, if he had more books, I would have had a book page showing his books. But right now, he's only got the one. In the future, if he does another book, which is already talking about that one going forward, that will have a book page, and so that people will be able to go back and see, oh, he's got another book out, and so forth. And these are things that you need to be aware of if you're going to do it yourself. But if you're not going to do it yourself, then you want to know, well, who is going to do it, which should be the publisher. And you want to know how much influence you're going to have. And you can talk with me, you have a great deal of influence, because my approach is you're the boss. And so that is something that you want to work with and get it so that it works for you. Now, there's certain things that whoever does it has to do a certain way. But that would be up to, in my case, I would be able to tell you, this is the way it has to be able get published by the platform that we use, and stuff like that. But most of the time, you're going to have choices. Editing. As we did this, I was editing as I was building. And then when we got it all together, then what he did is he had somebody else do editing. When they got done, that book came to me, and then I followed up with a final edit. Then I met with him, and we reviewed some things, made some questions I had, things of this nature. And so that was the actual final edit. And then I made the corrections and all that stuff, and it got ready. And finally, it got published. Now, that's only 5 steps, but there's a lot of sub-steps in there that you have to meet with. But I simply want you to understand what's involved. And if you're doing it yourself, this is going to take time and effort, but it's the cheapest way to go. If you're willing to invest your time, that's how I got started in publishing. I did my own. I wanted to have control over it and to do my own. So I'm not against this at all. Yes, I have a business, and I want customers, and I want students and things of this kind. I teach you how, where in basic authors training, where I teach you how to write. But I also encourage you to do it yourself. If you can do it and you're willing to spend and invest the time, then fine. The final one here that I don't have on here, and I'm going to put it over, is the marketing. We just say market. This is not a one-time step. This is an ongoing thing. And so I'm going to redo that because I'll just rewrite that so it shows up better. That's much better. Market. There is all types of marketing. There is the pre-launch. There is the launch and the post-launch. So that's only 3 areas, but again, there's a lot involved in that. In the pre-launch, there's what I've done for him, a lot of posting out there on different social media. I use Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram there, and I also use YouTube. And so the multi-platform approach. There's other things that I intend to have done, and there's still other things that I hope to do before it gets published. I'm in the pre-launch area right now. Then it gets published in his case, it's going to be June 16th. And so his book's going to be published. Well, that's not the end of it, folks. When you publish your book, that's really when the excitement gets. You may have had some sales, may or may not have some sales in the pre-launch. But you want to get that, you're getting the buzz out there. Even if you don't have a single sale, you're succeeding in doing something else. You're getting buzz out there. You're getting people to notice you. And so when you launch is, you just don't say, it's okay, I'm done, and walk away. There's work to be done. You're going to continue some of the things that you were doing in the pre-launch, but maybe with a slightly different emphasis. I did a blog it showed up in my blog, but I did a interview with the client, and his name is Dan Case, by the way. And we had I think it was about a 20-minute interview, covered some things in which he had a chance to tell about himself, his book, and things of this nature. And that's out there. And I wrote a blog, with a link to that interview. I've done postings of it. I posted the interview itself. The different things that I can do for my clients. If you go by yourself, take note. If you want to succeed, you're going to have to do this kind of work, and it's going to take time. But again, if you're willing to invest the time, you can't find a better way of doing it than by yourself. Because you come to me, there's a fee. If you do it, it's for free. Now, I didn't mean to be poetic there, but anyhow, so if you're willing to invest your time in it, it's worth it. It's just something you've got to be aware of, and you got to be consistent. This is not a one-shot deal where you give a whole day to it and then you say you're done. No, it's day after day after day after day, week after week after week, month after month after month. And there are people out there, including myself, who did the work, who had the mindset to do the work themselves. And once you've been doing it, you learn shortcuts and different things that will help take away some of that investment of time. But it is an investment of time, but it is also easy. And like I said, if you do it yourself, it's free. But if you're looking for somebody to do it, then you want somebody who's going to work with you. And that is part of this. This is where you and I, let's pretend for a minute that you are my client. You and I work together. If you're with somebody else, you and that somebody else work together to accomplish certain goals, stepping stones, if you will, benchmarks in another term. So then you have, after the launch, you have the post-launch. And really, your post-launch is what you go going forward. And so you're going to do a lot of things there. You're going to continue to do posts, maybe have some more interviews, some more, like I said, posts. And you're going to want to put them on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. If you have a YouTube account, you want it there. And you may have TikTok and some other. You look at the different formats out there. It depends upon your book and who you're trying to reach as to which one you go with. And don't be afraid to. I have mentioned that in here before. Target your customer. You want to be able to zero in on one particular type of customer, and then once you do that, you're not going to lose other customers. You're going to focus on that one, but there's going to be spillover. And so people are going to, even though they're not in your little circle there, or ones you're targeting, they're still going to see your ads or whatever you're putting out there, your content, and you'll get customers. So the thing is, 5 steps. Have a book, have a publisher, or publish yourself. You want to get it formatted, and if you're going to go with somebody, make sure they're going to work with you. You go with a self-publisher, they pretty much determine a lot of the stuff, and you don't have as much control. That's how I got into this business. I did not like dealing with self-publishers because they had all the control. They also made the most money. Editing. You want to, again, work together on your editing. It's your book. It's what you poured your life into. You want to have it edited, and you want it to end up being the way you want it to be, not necessarily the way the publisher wants it. So you work together, and then get it published. And then finally, market it. And even while you're doing all this, you can actually start some of your pre-launch well before you get to the publishing aspect. I started the pre-launch actually before the book was finished and published, even temporarily. Didn't even have the paperback done yet. I hadn't created an ebook yet or a PDF yet, but I already started some of the pre-launch buzz, because it takes time. That is something I got to understand there too. It does take time, not only to do the work, but to see the results. I hope this has been instructive to you. And by the way, if you're interested, this book is Simple Thoughts from a Simple Man, 4th quarter, coming out June 16th. Right now, it is on pre-order, and so you save some money if you do that. And then when it gets launched, you're one of the first persons to get their book. You have a great day, and I hope this has been helpful to you. And see you in future posts, and obviously in the next Becoming a Published Author is Fun. You have a great day.